All right, if you look at the Bitcoin 12-hour chart, what you'll realize that we're printing a symmetrical triangle. I guess it's not really a good pattern because a symmetrical triangle is more of a probability of breaking downwards, but we could break upwards, and that's what I'm going to show you today. I think that this is one that may actually break upwards, and I'll show you where the other data is coming from that's giving me that impression. Also, if you are invested in Voyager, you need to listen until the end of the show because we're going to be talking about Voyager and what how much money you can expect to get back if you are invested and when you're actually going to get your money back. I've got some scoop for you. So it's going to be a big show. We're also giving away those Solana phones, giving away money to KuCoin holders, giving away money to BitGet holders. It's just going to be a fun show. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I think before we start the show, what we should do is we should take a commercial break. What do you say? Let's take a commercial break. I want you guys to watch this during the commercial break. Hold on, you got to watch this. Everybody in the world has to watch this at least once.
What's up, haters? Richard Hart here, showing you what I got that you don't. These here are the new Virgil Abloh Louis Vuitton Nike Air Force Ones. I have them and you don't. Don't you wish you were more like me?
Don't you wish you were more like Richard Hart? Kyle, don't you wish you were more like Richard Hart?
Nah.
You don't, huh?
Six-pack.
Yeah. Alrighty. Listen, welcome back, guys. It's quiet, it's boring, but you're here and I'm here, and I'm going to bring you crypto love and crypto wisdom because there actually is a lot going on today. I think that while everybody thinks that we may break downwards from the symmetrical triangle, and to be honest, logically it does make sense that we're going to break downwards from the symmetrical triangle, there may be a reason why we're actually going to break upwards. There may be a reason that nobody's looking at that may show you that we're actually breaking upwards. So that's if you look at it on the 12-hour chart. And I'll show you in a second why I think there are actually a few reasons why this triangle may break upwards. And Sheldon says if it does break upwards, it's going up to 25 or 26. In fact, it tried to break upwards. Sheldon actually sent me this chart earlier. And he said, look, you see, it is actually breaking out. It is actually breaking out. But I think that was a bit of a fake out and it came back down. Either way, I think now it's a decision point for Bitcoin. Bitcoin has to make a decision. And I think that in the next 20 minutes, you guys will see which way I think this decision is going to go. So it's going to be, I think that's what we're going to be talking about today. Also, if you have money on Voyager, you want to listen to this because you may actually be getting the majority of your money back, which is great, for crypto. So let's do this. If you're new, subscribe to our channel. If you're not new, like our content, use our referral links to join the exchanges because today we're going to give away 5,000 KuCoin dollars we're going to give away. So if you've got an account with us with money in it on KuCoin, 5,000 KuCoin dollars go to you, $5,000 go to you. If you are on ByBit, you could stand a chance to win one of those Solana phones. And if you are on BitGet, then stay tuned until the end because I've got something amazing for you. Amazing to show you guys. All right, let's look at why I think that everybody's misinterpreting the signs that we're getting here, why everybody who thinks that the symmetrical triangle may break to the downward side is actually maybe going to be wrong, and I'll show you where I'm getting the hopium from. First thing is if I look at the Bitcoin hourly chart. So let me just get rid of these lines. Kyle, I thought we agreed that these lines should just disappear and never be here again. All right, so if you look at the hourly chart, what you can see is that it is printing higher lows. So you've got higher lows over there, higher low over here, higher low over here, higher low over here. You've also got some higher highs starting to print, which is, on the hourly chart, a first good sign. But that's not really the sign that I was looking for. The sign that I was looking for is actually somewhere else. It's actually in this chart over here. And I think the chart that everybody's maybe misinterpreting in the short term, but is this chart over here. And that is the dollar index or the Dixie. Now, what you can see is that this dollar index has gone absolutely rampant. It's now 107.23. That is unprecedented. I mean, if you look at that, the last time that we had this was 20 years ago. So 20 years ago, let me take you back 20 years, give you a little bit of a feel for where we were. So here we go. The last time that we had a 107 level was again in November 2002. And right now, this is the only chance that you should be worrying about because all the clues are sitting in this dollar index, which is broken up and now seems to be going nonstop. In fact, if I look at what Raoul Paul said, he said, there's nothing on the Dixie chart until 120. Oh boy, this is a mess. But then I got to ask myself, is this actually a mess? How did we get here? So let's quickly talk about what this Dixie is about. The Dixie is the dollar index. The dollar index is when you compare the dollar to a whole lot of different assets or currencies out there. And so what it shows how strong is the dollar relative to all the other currencies. And even though the US economy is completely screwed today, people still seem to be panicking and running towards dollar. And more specifically, if you look at when the last time that this happened was as we said, 20 years ago. But if you look at where this broke out, it started to break out around there. So somewhere around end of May. It started to tease breaking out, and now it's actually broken out. And you got to ask yourself, what's changed? And how does that affect where we are in crypto? And then I'm going to show you why I think that this is actually really, really, really good news. So whereas everybody's going, this is crazy, a higher dollar may actually mean that because usually when the dollar goes up, commodity prices go down, stocks go down, growth stocks go down a lot because you have a stronger dollar. So things are becoming cheaper relative to dollar. But I'm going to show you why I don't think that this is the case this time around. And the first chart that I want to show you guys is I want to show you the chart of yesterday. I want to show you the chart of the NASDAQ. Now, if you remember where the NASDAQ was yesterday, the NASDAQ yesterday was at a low of 11,354 and closed somewhere around 11,785, which is a recovery of 2 or 3% in the NASDAQ. And if you look at where the NASDAQ is today, it is up 2.1%. Now, why would yesterday, when the dollar index broke out, the NASDAQ went down? But then miraculously, mysteriously, there was a recovery in the NASDAQ. And when that recovery in the NASDAQ happened, we got this slight recovery in Bitcoin. In fact, let's go onto the hourly chart with Bitcoin. And you can see that yesterday, Bitcoin was at about 19. Yeah, let me just get into auto. So yesterday, Bitcoin was at about 19,300. And then miraculously, we started to recover. And you got to ask yourself, what happened? If the dollar is getting stronger, why is it that the NASDAQ is now starting to go up and the dollar and and Bitcoin is starting to go up? And let's quickly look at how the rest of the markets are doing. So if you look at the Dow Jones flat and the US Tech flat, what is it? Why is it that all of a sudden we're getting this counterintuitive move, or a move that we actually shouldn't expect? And that is where I think the good news is that no one is talking about. So let's look at what the good news is. The first thing is, let's look at what the euro looks like. So you've got the euro and the dollar now finally heading towards parity. So again, the last time that we had 1 euro equaled $1 was about 20 years ago. In fact, I think it may have even been longer than 20 years ago. Let's quickly look how long ago we had a situation where the euro and the dollar were close to parity. So the last time that the euro and the dollar were at parity means one euro equals $1, was 2002. So it was 20 years ago. 20 years ago is the last time that this happened. And what you're seeing in Europe now is you're seeing a crazy situation where Europe has 8.6% inflation, but they're still holding the interest rates at negative levels. Okay, so Europe's in a crazy, crazy, crazy situation. So why do I say that a high Dixie, a high dollar relative to the euro is a good sign? Well, one, because we saw the NASDAQ turn around. Why did the NASDAQ turn around? And I'll tell you why I think this is all happening. I think this is all happening because finally, what we're starting to see is the results of the Fed policy and the Fed tightening. Now, Jerome Powell has gone out and said that he's going to reduce inflation at all costs. Regardless of what happens, he's going to reduce inflation. And up until now, what we've had is a situation where inflation just isn't coming down. We had inflation expectations at 8.3, we got 8.6, and inflation isn't coming down. Next week, we're going to get an inflation reading, and I'm expecting the inflation reading to be high. But this is where I think everybody's missing it. This is where I think everybody's missing it. If you look at the commodity prices as they are priced in dollars, you look at the price of oil. The price of oil yesterday went down from here, from 113, and it touched a low of 97. So it went down 14% yesterday. And if you understand what oil is Oil is a barometer for inflation because everything revolves around the price of oil. When the price of oil goes up, inflation goes up. When the price of oil comes down, inflation comes down. So this strong dollar over here is having a triple-edged sword. The first thing is, what it's doing is, because the dollar is so strong, goods are becoming cheaper relative to the dollar, which means that oil is coming down relative to the dollar. But also, it looks like Powell has managed to scare people into not spending as much, and now we're on the border of a recession. And that means that people aren't going to be spending as much. And so all of a sudden, the oil manufacturers are starting to worry, and they're going, hold on a second, oil is going to become much cheaper. Oil is becoming much cheaper because there probably won't be demand for oil. And so what you're getting is you're getting a massive decline. If you look at where we were at the top and you look at where we are now, you got a 25% reduction in the price of oil. Logically speaking, that could mean that inflation could come down by 25%. I don't think it's going to happen immediately, but I do think it's going to happen over the next 2 or 3 months. And if you do have inflation now at 8.5 or 8.6%, and you take oil as a proxy for inflation, it has been a very, very, very reliable proxy for inflation. You're now saying, look, logically, inflation will come down by about 25%. But the question is, when will this happen? So I reckon that it takes about 3 months for this data to filter into the market. So we're not going to get it in next week's inflation. We're probably not going to get it in August inflation. In fact, in August inflation, we're probably going to get some kind of reduction. But then in September, we can probably expect inflation of around 6%, maybe 5.8, maybe 6.1%. And that means that what's going to happen is that the Fed's policies of reducing spend and reducing inflation are actually starting to work. Now, that's, again, if you look at the GSCI, which is the Commodities Index, it's the S&P Goldman Sachs Commodity Index, what you can see is, again, that commodities have followed suit. So you can see commodities are also down about 25%. So if you take oil and commodities, and you say, well, look, oil and commodities are now 25% down, and that will mean that you could probably see inflation 25% down. And again, the lag here, 2 to 3 months. So the reason why I think that this dollar chart that everybody's panicking about may actually be short-term a good thing is because high dollar means people are scared of a recession, means a recession actually may be coming, means oil and commodities are being priced against the dollar are starting to come down, and that will lead to a much lower inflation, which means that the Fed's policies are working. And if the Fed's policies are working, that probably means that they're not going to be as aggressive, and they can maybe even start, I'm not going to say loosening at this stage, but maybe just being less aggressive in their policy. Also remember that the US import a lot from the EU, and when they do import from the EU, if they're buying things denominated in euros, they're becoming much cheaper for US citizens, and therefore their inflation, and therefore that's going to also cause a whole lot of inflation. So that's another good reason. Lastly, another piece of good news, which may actually be bad news, what people are looking at as bad news, but we're looking at as good news, is that housing inventory is finally rising. So housing inventory is finally rising, which means that people are now being forced to sell their houses, which, remember, we said housing is the final frontier. When the housing market starts to collapse, that is when people are starting to feel it, and that's when the real inflation numbers are going to start to come down. What we're seeing now is for the first time in a long time, we've got housing listings increasing, which means that people are listing their houses, and probably because they have to sell their houses. And if you look at the average average sales price for new houses sold in the United States, that's also starting to come down. So you take all of those, you take that against a strong dollar, and you go, hold on a second, actually all this talk about what the Fed is doing might actually be working. And if the Fed's policies are actually working, then we could be much closer to the end of this than we think. Remember, we said that people didn't see an end in sight. Well, now people are going, hold on a second, this is actually working. And if oil can start coming down, and if we can get oil down to $70 or $80 a barrel, now we've got ourselves inflation at a much more reasonable level. And that's what the Fed wants. So great news on that. I don't know, great news for anyone who followed my KuCoin trade. We got in at 808. That's also good news. We're now at 890. That's because when there's FUD and the FUD's unsubstantiated, you buy. I mean, I took a small position. I think a 10x leverage position on KuCoin at about 8. I don't know. I think my entry price must have been around 810 or 815, which was very good. Also, other good news. World Series of Trading. For anyone who's in our World Series of Trading, yesterday we were ranked number 250 in the rankings. Today we ranked number 43. So we are slowly climbing up our way. Slowly climbing up our way to make it to get to the number one spot, which we are chasing. If you want to join us, click on to get. So if you do want to join us, click on this referral. Well, you got to sign up using our ByBit account, and then just click on that link over here, and you'll see it takes you straight through to the World Series of Trading. Just join. It doesn't cost you anything to join. You just have to have more than $500 in your account to be trading in your account, and then usually the biggest team wins. And I think right now we are pretty much close to being the biggest team. So that's a very, very, very good thing. Good news for us. We're going to win this. We're going to win this. If we win this, 1.8 million goes to our squad, and we get 20%. Sheldon and I get 20%. We give that 20% straight back to you guys who are participating with us in the community. So it's going to be, I think we're going to win. We're going to make sure we're going to win. We're going to make sure. Sheldon's doing some amazing trades. He did say he's taking a long on Theta today, didn't he? So yeah, he was supposed to join the show, but I think he's doing what Sheldon does. No, I think he had another commitment. All right, so we have the FOMC meeting today. Sorry, not the FOMC meeting, but the minutes of the FOMC meeting come out today. Generally, the minutes haven't been bullish, but to be honest, it's a nothing burger. It's an absolute nothing burger. Like, this is the minutes from the meeting a long time ago. We're also now getting admission by the Fed, and specifically the Fed of Atlanta, that they see GDP growth becoming at -2. And that's an adjustment in their forecast from the -1 that they said. So it went down from -1 on June 30th, and now they're at -2 or something like that. And that basically shows that the Fed's now admitting that we may actually be getting into recession. Remember, in about a month, we get those recession numbers coming. And I love this tweet from James Lavish. This guy, James Lavish, is actually quite funny. He says, the bond market sees a recession coming. The stock market sees a recession coming. The crude oil market sees a recession coming. The commodities market sees a recession coming. The housing market sees a recession coming. Yet strangely, the Fed is the only one that doesn't see a recession coming. But they also didn't see transitory inflation.
They don't see much.
They don't see much. They don't see much. The Fed doesn't see much. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, so that's that. Let's talk about Voyager. So Voyager has been added to the list of casualties. And today what they've done is they made an announcement that they've gone into Chapter 11. And what that means is it's a voluntary process to protect them from bankruptcy while they restructure their business. So it doesn't mean that they are closed down or bankrupt. What it does mean is that they are voluntarily restructuring. And what they've gone into Chapter 11 because that keeps the creditors away from them while they're restructuring the business. So this is a message that came out of their CEO. It says, today we began a voluntary financial restructuring process to protect the assets on the platform, maximize value for all stakeholders, especially customers, and emerge stronger as a company. The company will continue to operate throughout. We strongly believe in the future of the industry, but the prolonged volatility in the crypto markets and the default of 3 Arrows Capital has required us to take this decisive action. This well-established legal process, whereby companies reorganize their financial obligations to emerge stronger as stronger organizations, provides an efficient and equitable mechanism to maximize our recovery. Our goal is to come out even stronger. As part of this process, the proposed plan of reorganization would resume account access and return value to customers. Under this plan, which is subject to ongoing discussions with other parties and court approval, customers with their crypto accounts will receive the following in exchange. They will receive proceeds from the 3 Arrow Capital recovery, common shares, so equity in the newly organized company, and Voyager tokens. We are actively pursuing all available remedies against 3 Arrows Capital, including through a court-supervised process in the BVI in New York. It is important to note that as part of this announcement, we are confirming that customers with USD deposits in their accounts will receive access to those funds after a reconciliation and fraud prevention process. During the reorganization, we'll maintain operations. We intend to certain customer programs without disruption. Trading, deposits, and loyalty on the Voyager platform will remain temporarily suspended. So what does this mean? It means that they're restructuring. It means that they're restructuring in such a way that they are going to start opening their deposits. It means that their holders or the depositors are actually going to start getting some of their money back. And I spent some time today looking at the filing document here. And if you look at the filing document, a few things stick out here. The first thing is that they had between $1 and $10 billion of assets. So if you look at page 4 here, they had between $1 and $10 billion of assets. They have obviously between $1 and $10 billion in liability. But the thing that makes this even worse is that they've got more than 100,000 creditors. That means more than 100,000 probably retail investors who are being affected by this. So this is no joke. This could cause either a crypto recovery or crypto decline, and I'll explain to you why. Because there are over 100,000 retail investors who have been trapped in Voyager since they suspended their withdrawals. Over 100,000. Now, tech says customers will take massive losses. I don't think that's the case. And I'll show you why I don't think that's the case. In fact, I know that's not the case. So if you understand what they're doing, they are going to give their depositors a haircut. And then they're going to give these depositors equity in a new vehicle, a right against the claim of 3 Arrows Capital, which I don't think is going to be worth much, but they are going to get back something from 3 Arrows Capital. And they're going to get these VGX tokens. So that's the first thing that you need to notice. The second thing that you need to know is that they're not bankrupt and they're not liquidated. They are following a process, and there actually is a way out of the process. What they've done is they've said, look, if we continue to operate as we were, we would have had a big problem. We wouldn't have been able to pay. But going into Chapter 11, we can now actually operate and come out stronger. And so what does this mean? It means that customers can expect a 80% recovery between available cash and crypto assets. So most depositors will get back about 80% of their deposits. But then they'll also get this VGX token and 3 Arrow Capital recovery note or token or something like that. So look, I don't think it's the worst result in the world to get 80% of your cash back and then also get equity in VGX in Voyager, and also get, if they can recover anything from 3 Arrows Capital, you get some of that. So it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. I think a 20% haircut is way better than losing all your money, which is what a lot of people thought. Also, this is probably the quickest way to get your 20%, so your money back, or 80% of your money back. This is not a 10-year process of liquidation. This is a Chapter 11, bang, you file for Chapter 11, you restructure, and then you continue to trade, and creditors can't touch you. The big losers here are going to be the equity holders, and you can see that in the token price. So the equity holders pretty much, I think, have lost all their value. And I mean, look at the story. This token was trading in November 21. Was trading at this share was trading at $21. And if you look at where the share is trading now, it's trading at 26 cents. So, like someone says, it's better than getting zero back. You're actually getting 80% of your money back, plus you're getting a recovery right token. I think it's a token around 3 Arrows Capital. Quite interestingly, if you look at the balance sheet that they presented, you'll realize a few things. The first thing that you'll realize is that they had a massive amount outstanding from Alameda Capital. So Alameda Capital owed them $375 million. And what this guy says, this 0x Ham says, if Voyager had a liquidity crisis, it may have called the loan, which would have led to disrupt Alameda's research. Now, remember that Alameda own, I think, about 7% of Voyager. So that's another thing that you need to look at. So ultimately, you got to look at all of that. Then you got to ask yourself, how the hell did this happen? How the hell did this happen? How did we get to a position? How did we get to a point where on the 13th of June, Voyager makes an announcement and says all products and services remain fully operational, unaffected by market conditions, including trading, rewards, deposits, withdrawals. We take risk management very seriously, and safeguarding our consumer assets is the #1 priority. We have never engaged in any DeFi lending and support services. So how did we get from here to now filing Chapter 11? How did we go from that to this? You could ask, how did you not know? How did you not know on the 13th of June, which was about 3 weeks ago, how did you not know that you were about to go bankrupt? And of course, the answer is because at the time, everyone, and now we know that 3AC was not solvent. And the problem with Voyager is that Voyager had a loan to 3 Arrows Capital, which seems to be an uncollateralized loan, which is crazy. And if you look at the amount of the loan, they had 15,250 Bitcoin, which at the time was valued at over $750 million, and they had $350 million in USDC. So over $1 billion was lent out to 3 Arrows Capital. And 3 Arrows Capital, even though they didn't, Voyager didn't engage in any DeFi or lending, what they did was they engaged in poor risk management, and they gave uncollateralized loans to counterparties, and the counterparties were completely exposed to DeFi. And that basically destroyed the whole business. And the reality is, in fact, I want to show you this. I think we're now starting to compile what we're working on here. Let me just find it. Let me find this for you guys. Hold on a second. Okay, so we're starting to put together a spreadsheet of all the crypto contagion casualties. And what we're trying to work out is how many customers are, for us, the most important thing is how many customers are now being affected. And so on our list, we've got Voyager, we've got Celsius, we've got BlockFi, we've got 3AC, we've got CoinFlex, we've got Vold, we've got Babel Finance, we've got Defiance Capital, Maple Finance, Finblocks, Genesis Trading. So we've got all of this on our list. And what we're trying to find out, what we're trying to build here is we're trying to build a spreadsheet of the amount of retail capital that is currently in an issue. So that's basically what we're up to here. Hold on a second. I've just been told to look at this. Okay, we do have, yeah, it's pretty much the same as us. So that's pretty much where it is. So 3 Arrows Capital, again, I think this is not a bad thing. I think if you are holding, sorry, not 3 Arrows Capital, Voyager. If you are holding Voyager, if you've got deposits in Voyager, I think this process will be quick and painless. And you'll get access to 80% of your money. You'll also get equity in the platform. You'll get a recovery right. So I think your worst case scenario is that you've lost 20%. And to be honest, I think losing 20% in this market is actually a good result. And now you've learned your lesson. Your lesson is you're not going to be playing in CeFi anymore. You're out of that. You're better than playing in CeFi. If you want to go and look for yield, you're going to go and look for yield on DeFi protocols, but you're going to have great risk management. You're not going to fall into the hands of CeFi. Yeah, well done for putting out a BlockFi. Well done for putting out a BlockFi. What else? What else is there? Okay, so we do have Celsius repaying their loan. So, well, starting to repay their loan. You see that the liquidation price is now $2,722. And when this loan is paid, I think there are 22,000 Bitcoin that will be freely withdrawable. So like 22,000 wrapped Bitcoin, which they will be able to withdraw of customer money. So there is a chance that it feels to me like Celsius is resisting going into this Chapter 11. And the only thing that I can think of is that something is going on in the background that we don't know, that someone knows something that we don't know. Because somehow they are managing to keep repaying this loan and keep repaying large amounts of this loan, while at the same time not filing for bankruptcy. So something is going on, and I mean, I don't know anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden we saw Celsius coming out of this. So I asked a question. I asked, does anyone have any intel to where Celsius is getting the funding to reduce the loans? And then I realized just what kind of state we were in crypto Twitter at the moment. Silk Road, SBF, Soros. I mean, we just have to read this. Do Kwon's cash pile, Jeffrey Epstein's estate, ByBit referrals, 4 Arrows Capital, Voyager. I mean, you understand what's going on here today. You understand that this is where we're at. This is the state of crypto Twitter at the moment. Loan sharks.
See my comments.
Elon Musk buying sales. You see, this is pretty much where we're at. I know it's sad but true. Also, while we're here, we may as well do a quick sense check of where we are with our portfolios. So I saw this from Messari, and what it shows is the top 50 funds and the breakdown of the sectors which they're investing in. And what you can see is that the majority of them are investing in layer ones. This again excludes Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then decentralized exchanges is the next biggest narrative. Lending and borrowing, 9%, file storage, 5%, data management, 10%. This gives you a good look at what a portfolio should look like now. So this gives you a good look as to what a portfolio should look like now. Alrighty, so yeah, that's it for the news. Happy to do some Q&A. Otherwise, what I want to show you a few things. The first thing is, let's do some KuCoin giveaways. We promised our KuCoin fans to do KuCoin giveaways. We know that KuCoin is now solvent and they had no issues. It was all FUD. We do know that. If you want to sign up, put money into the account, put as much money as you want. If you got money in your account, we will give you guys $1,000. And today I'm going to give away 5 of those. So let me just get the right link here and make sure that we've got our list of friends. And then what we'll do is we will give away $5,000 to people on our list, if the list ever loads. The list is not loading. It is getting highly frustrating. With the list of my invitees are not loading. Okay, hold on. It's doing something. All right, hopefully that will. Okay, we do. Okay, so what we're going to do, if you've got money in your account, we give you $1,000. If you don't have money in your account, well, then you don't get the money. Somebody else gets the money. The first person I'm going to give it to is 0774760, $1,000 into your account. 305 *129, $1,000 into your account if you've got money in your KuCoin account. Then al something.com, $1,000 into your account. Let's go. Let's see here. Let's go. Let's just give away. Just give away money, because this is the part that I love. I love giving money to the community. em.com, $1,000 into your account, and ca.com, $1,000 into your account if you have a KuCoin account with our referral link. Also, remember that I showed you guys that we launched our crypto school, and thank you yesterday. You guys did an amazing job. I think that 5,000 people applied all of a sudden for our school. I wanted to give you guys some more of a taste. So remember, our crypto school is very different from any other crypto school. It's targeted as this module is targeted at beginners. Next one is going to be Sheldon's trading course, and then we're going into leverage trading courses and stuff like that. But the first course we got is for beginners. And this is not a video, a course that is just made up of videos. This is a course that it's fun. You do it with your friends. We meet in classes. You got breakaway rooms, because the idea is to almost make it as fun as school. So like you got a network, you got your own classmates, you get points. Everyone in the class gets points, and the groups with the most points land up winning a whole lot of crypto. And everyone that completes crypto school gets over $5,000 worth of free crypto. So worth of benefits and free crypto. So I don't want to say it specifically. So I thought I'd just, for fun, because I knew today was going to be a bit of a slow show, I want to just show you how cool. I'm going to show you, in fact, let me show you the Bitcoin module, which I think is one of the most fun. Okay, let me play it for you guys. It's awesome.
Becoming somewhat aware that the present monetary system is not.
Let me move it. Let me make it full screen for us, and we can watch it properly, I hope. Okay, let it just load. It'll take a second. And I need your help. So stay here, because I need your help after this.
People are becoming somewhat aware that the present monetary system is not really satisfactory. That we will have to consider very fundamental reform. See, the great trouble is the money wasn't allowed to develop further. After 200 or 300 years of coins, all governments put their hands and stopped any further developments. We were not allowed to experiment on it. Money hasn't been improved. Money has rather become worse in the course of time. I don't believe that we should ever have a good money again before we take the thing out of the hands of government. Because we can't take them violently out of the hands of government. All we can do is, by some sly roundabout way, introduce something they can't stop.
I think that the internet is going to be one of the major forces for reducing the role of government. The one thing that's missing, but that will soon be developed, is a reliable e-cash, a method whereby
It was
on the internet you
1999,
can
Milton
transfer
Friedman.
funds from A to B without A knowing B or B knowing A.
It's impossible to be shut down. That's the beautiful thing about it. Is that there is no Bitcoin place. You can't shoot Bitcoin.
For the first time now in human history, people everywhere can trust each other and transact peer-to-peer. So Wall Street and all around the world, the financial industry is in a big upheaval about this, wondering, can we be replaced?
Banks will become less and less relevant, just like landline telephones are becoming less and less relevant. We're going to wake up one day and we're going to be in charge of our own money.
In 2008, stock markets around the world suffered one of the biggest financial meltdowns of our generation.
The stock market is now down 21%.
Because we're now down 40.
The highly inflated US housing market collapsed, and with it, so too did the entire financial system. Banks, pension funds, and even insurance companies were wiped out, and millions of people lost their homes and their jobs. To prevent the total collapse of economies worldwide, central banks and governments were forced to print money from thin air, enormous amounts to bail out the banks and other financial institutions. In the midst of this financial meltdown, a person or entity using the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto sent a mail introducing Bitcoin to the world. The mail was titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. In this simple mail, Satoshi birthed the world's first decentralized network of money, owned and run by the people, for the people. To this day, Satoshi's true identity remains a mystery.
So that's the caliber and the type of stuff that we are teaching people at the school. And I mean, it goes much deeper than that. So I'll show you one more. I'm so proud of this because I think we're going to be putting 1 million people through school. And so 1 million people are going to be paid to learn about crypto. So, I mean, watch this one. Meet Tom. Tom kept $50,000 on his crypto exchange account. One morning, he received an email from his crypto exchange, notifying him that he needs to update his account information. Tom clicked the link in the mail, entered his username and password, updated his credentials, and took his dog for a walk. While walking his dog, Tom got a notification on his phone that $50,000 had been withdrawn from his exchange account. You see, the mail that Tom responded to wasn't from an exchange. It was from hackers who ran the same scam on thousands of people, stealing millions of dollars. Meet Fred. Fred didn't know where to store his private keys. So he created a folder on his laptop and saved his private keys safely in the folder. One day, while drinking his morning brew at his favorite coffee shop, Fred logged onto local Wi-Fi to check up on his crypto portfolio. Fred wasn't using a VPN. And as he logged onto the public Wi-Fi, a hacker identified his IP address and hacked his computer, stealing his private keys and draining his account of $15,000 worth of crypto. Meet Alistair. Alistair stored his exchange username and passwords safely on his mobile phone. Over the weekend, whilst on a fishing trip, Alistair accidentally dropped his phone in the water.
At this moment that he knew.
Oops.
He fucked up.
Alistair and his friends rescued the phone and sent it in for repairs. Whilst in the phone repair shop, one of the technicians accessed the phone, found the exchange username and passwords, logged onto Alistair's account, and withdrew all of his funds. Alistair lost $18,000. With financial freedom comes huge responsibility. Unlike the traditional financial system, where banks and financial intermediaries protect users against common scams, in crypto, we are responsible for our own money. Our financial freedom means more responsibility. It's important to know that blockchains can't get hacked. That's impossible. What does get hacked are users. and their exchange accounts and passwords. And as more and more money flows into crypto, hackers and scammers are seeing a honeypot of opportunity. And they want your coins. Protecting your crypto assets is your biggest responsibility. And in this lesson, we're going to show you what you need to protect, where you need to protect it, and how you should protect it. We'll also show you some of the most common scams so that you're well armed and ready to keep your crypto safe. Let's do this, captains. All right, so that's Crypto School. If you have any friends who want to join us, let me just shut down all that. If you have any friends that want to join us, it's simple. All you need to do is you need to go to our show. There's a school referral link over here. You click on school and you apply. You'll go through a whole lot of questions. Specifically right now, we are looking for people who haven't got crypto, newbies into crypto. So if you know anybody, let them sign up. We're doing 1,000 people starting next Sunday. We do have a couple of spaces left, I think. So first come, first serve. If you're going to be there first, then yeah, we'll do it. It's an amazing course. It's, I think, one of the best courses out there. You learn about how to set up an exchange account. You learn how to you meet your study group. You learn how to deposit money onto an exchange. You learn about network effects around decentralization. You learn about the history of money, about Bitcoin and blockchain. Then we start degenerating into Ethereum, DeFi, altcoins, wallets, NFTs. Then we go into security, and then lastly, we actually build a portfolio together. So we all sit down together and build a portfolio, and then everyone that finishes school gets a school certificate, which is an NFT, which is on I think it's an Ethereum NFT. So that's that. Lastly, I don't have the updated ByBit list, but we are going to do the updated giveaway for ByBit. If you want to win one of 5 Solana phones, sign up using our sign up link over here. And you need to, at some point in the next 6 months, trade Solana, and then you can win one of the 5 Solana phones. I was going to get the list today, but they didn't send it to me. And then lastly, we do have a new sponsor. I think we've spoken about them before. Sponsors BitGet. We've checked out their numbers. We're satisfied that we can recommend this. Great exchange, very, very, very user friendly. We've been talking to them for a while. If you want to sign up with them, you can get you get huge sign-up bonuses here. You get up to $8,000 sign-up bonuses. Just use this referral link over here. Actually, you know what? I just see here that ByBit have updated the sheet. What do you say? Do you say we give away a Solana phone today?
Yeah, they were waiting yesterday.
All right, let's do it. Let's give away a Solana phone. Let me just find the sheet, because what I see right now on the show, ByBit sent me an announcement and said we're going to give away. Remember, you're going to win one of 5 Solana phones. These phones, you're only going to get a Solana phone if and when they get released. So we're going to put the order through. You're going to see the order on the blockchain. But if for any reason the Solana phone doesn't launch, hold on, why isn't this? Then you're not going to get your phone, because we can't give you something that doesn't exist. Hold on, let me find this sheet. They say, okay. Oh, hold on a second. Come on. Okay, I got the sheet in front of me. Bang, I got the sheet. Okay, today is the 6th of July. It means it was just updated. It was just updated. I think what we should do is let's just have some fun, because we haven't been here for a while. So let's actually have some real fun. Let's go to number 17,127. So here's how it works. I'm going to 10x 17,127 up to $10,000, and 17,128 wins a Solana phone, but only if they have traded Solana before. Okay, so 17,127 and 17,128. Let's go back to 17,000 and see. The red is a 10x, and 17,127 and 28, we said, right? 17,127, 127. There we go. All right, so 17,127. Oh, it's the same person. It's the same person. We can't give away to the same person. So we 10x his portfolio. He gets $3,900. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give away the Solana phone. But remember, you only get the Solana phone if you have traded Solana. And the number I'm going for is 16,975. So let's see, only if you've got money in your account and you have traded Solana, then you win a Solana phone. 16,975. 16,975, 16,975, 16,975. Let's go, 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 go. 16,975. No money in his account.
Maybe
No.
Solana went to
That no money, no win. Tomorrow we'll carry on doing away. We'll carry on with some Solana fan giveaways. We're going to give away 5. I promise you, we're going to give away 5. Remember, you want to join? Here are all the referral links. Sign up to KuCoin to stand a chance to win $1,000. Sign up to BitGet to get up to $8,000 referral in sign-up bonus. Sign up to ByBit. Join, if you're going to sign up to ByBit, join our Sniper Squad as well. And then you can stand to a chance to win all of those amazing things. Alrighty, I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Until then, have fun and trade well, my friends.